Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and we're doing it just a little bit different on the Cuomo Must A Go-Go show. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to do our main segment here on Cuomo, and then I'm going to show you a few articles that maybe we can't talk about on the YouTube platform. So instead of like when you're watching Steven Crowder and he says, go to the Mug Club, in order to see the rest of the video, you'll have to go to Rockfin and make that free account. As obviously we're simulcasting, but when you see what else we're going to cover, I think you're going to want to finally break down and get that account. Okay, let's start her off by talking about the left-wing establishment now completely throwing Andrew Cuomo to the wolves. And yesterday we briefly discussed that, of course my desktop's not available. Why would it be? Let's do that. And there it is. Bill de Blasio, who is really set to be overtaken as the mayor of New York City by Andrew Yang, and will probably be placed somewhere in a Biden or possibly even a Harris administration, depending on how long they keep Zombie Joe in office. And no, Jesse Schmidt, you're not late. You're right on time, brother. So Bill de Blasio saying that he can no longer serve as governor. Well, literally a couple hours ago, you had Senate Leader Chuck Schumer demanding that he resign. And they made it out to be, oh, poor Cuomo. He's walking around with his daughter and he looks terrible. He's got a blanket on and he's got some, I think that's a water in his hand. He's so upset. And there's Kristen Gillibrand wearing her mask. I mean, this stuff gets me so upset because they want to remove him for, I think this is now the 7th alleged, sexual harassment victim of Cuomo, when the guy is a total gangster. He has been an out-and-out gangster throughout his entire administration. However, this year especially, the COVID-19 84 nightmare, the past 12 plus months, he has shown his true authoritative colors. He has eviscerated this state. He has imposed medical martial law and had medical dictates, which I feel were completely not only illegal, but immoral, that we can't really get into anymore on YouTube, prior to COVID-19 84. And the real scandal that people are talking about now is, of course, the nursing home scandal, which didn't just happen in New York, which obviously inflated numbers. Now, there's another scandal we can't talk about that I feel like is going on today, and they're going to subvert all of that, even though Cuomo himself said the facts aren't the facts, again and again and again. And what really upsets me is, anybody who's watched me the last year and watched how many of the Cuomo watch-alongs we did, right? I type in the facts aren't the facts Cuomo, not on Google, not on DuckDuckGo. Not one thing about him saying the facts aren't the facts on the coronavirus. Okay? I want you to think about this. They gave this man an Emmy for his masterful performances at COVID briefings. That's the scandal. They gave him an Emmy when his state not only did perform extremely poorly, but is continuing to perform extremely poorly while they put a stranglehold on their own people. Okay, so let's give this guy an Emmy, right? When I say he acts like a gangster, he talks like a gangster. He puts out a book during this. He gets an Emmy, and then he has Fauci on, laughing with him, comparing himself to the De Niro and Pacino team, Godfather stars. Literally actor gangsters. He's not going to jail. No matter what happens right now, whether or not he steps down or he resigns, and it seems like now the pressure from that inner establishment is so great and everybody's so scared to step up to the plate because of all these sexual assault allegations. Isn't it weird how you can take this and you can subvert death after death after death after death? Many of these people who in their last days, weeks, months, year of life were subjugated to conditions. First of all, many of them in homes not subjugated to the greatest conditions anyway, but subjugated to conditions where they couldn't even see their families. This guy's a monster. He's a liar. He's a gangster. He's done horrible things that should put him in a jail cell. A jail cell. Okay? That's where he needs to be. And yet, no. Instead, they're going to make it about this sexual assault thing. And it's so funny. When they wanted to put Zombie Joe in, and you had Tara Reid and her allegations, just nobody wanted to touch it. I mean, the strength of the evidence with Tara Reid and her story were so far beyond anything else we saw with Kavanaugh. But even when I digress into those situations of selective outrage and then enforcement through the mob, right, over sexual assaults, we're talking about dead people. We're talking about people who can't pay their bills. We're talking about people who have small businesses and have businesses based around properties who can't get rent, okay? Who can't get rent from their tenants. And then you have people that actually want to pay their mortgage or open their business and pay their rent in their business, and they can't do that because they've got to be at a quarter capacity or 50% capacity. And they got to dance around all these authoritarian, nightmarish rules that ultimately have a huge transhumanist agenda behind them. That's the reality we live under. And no matter what happens after this guy is going to be a multi-millionaire. Not a guy behind bars. Not a guy who's fully exposed as the predator class puppet that he is. Do you understand? Do you get it? So the pressure's on after number 7 accuser. Power within the Democratic Party. It's probably not going to be long until Nancy Pelosi herself steps in and demands that he resign. And I can't stand any of these people. They're awful. I can't imagine what kind of puppet they're going to try to put in to clean up the actual scandals and continue the scandal that's going on right now. Right now in New York. Okay? Oh, so here's how we're going to do it, guys. Right now I'm basically going to let you all know that this isn't the end of the video. It's just the end of the YouTube broadcast because there are certain things that we can no longer talk about on this channel because we have 2 strikes. And remember, 2 of those strikes came from daring to play, a Senate hearing. There's Ron Johnson. There's Dr. Pierre Corey. That's the reality. They removed that. Okay, this is the world we live in. YouTube cancels the U.S. Senate. So because of that, I'm just going to kind of scroll through these headlines here. Oh, look at that. That's so weird. But I can't talk about Dr. Corey and preventatives. No. So we're going to cover this one. I promised everybody that we would show, if you watch my watch along, the piece of artwork that Sacha Baron Cohen wants banned from Facebook and Instagram and social media. Now he wants to decide what you can see, but then he wants to call Republicans or Trumpers Nazis. I mean, the irony is over the top. So we're gonna cover that story in a little more depth. We're gonna show you a piece of art that the person did afterwards. This is the type of scandal, by the way. See this headline? You see it? This here is the type of scandal, by the way, that we're going to cover when we break off from this broadcast. Make sure to make that free Rockfin account, free Rockfin account, free Rockfin account. Okay? Make that free Rockfin account. Oh! I am seeing this in the rounds of some mainstream media. Okay? But I'm not going to read the headline. Because the other thing is, when this story's posted, it gets a nice little fact check under it. Little fact check. Letting you know that the World Health Organization loves you, by the way. Okay? And then we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to talk about the transhumanist agenda. We're going to talk about special forces already using armed robots. Remember, we got Spot the DARPA robot dog out there. We're going to cover Gnome. And another great thing that she's done, it's ROKFIN for Rockfin. ROKFIN for Rockfin. ROKFIN for Rockfin. Rockfin.com. So, guys, we're also going to talk about how I feel like I made the right decision moving here to Iowa. And we might even delve into the Milo Yiannopoulos scandal that I briefly talked about. So, we're going to get to some of the big stuff right here. Right out of the gates, okay? Over there, we're going to cut the broadcast off on YouTube. Thumbs it up on the way out. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Subscribe and share. And we're going to move exclusively to Rockfin here. The links are down below to know where to support me. But again, making a premium Rockfin account, paying the $9.99 a month, well then, that's another great way to support Jason Burmis. So with that being said, YouTube, we'll see ya over